Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to be talking about, well, manga and anime versus Western comic books and superheroes and things of that nature. But before I get into it, please subscribe to this channel and ring that bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. Also hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So recently I've been seeing a lot of news and a lot of really just arguments online regarding which is better, manga versus Western comics and things of that nature. And honestly, I am a little bit surprised, mainly, especially from the artist community in general. Not because they're wrong, but because it's very honestly surprising how quick both sides kind of argue with these things. It's really, really strange. I mean, I'm not going to post anything that are tweets. I'm not going to try to troll anyone or anything like that. I just want to talk about this from my perspective. Growing up, I wasn't a huge fan of manga all the time, but I did occasionally read one like Inuyasha, different characters different comic books and mangas of that nature. Not comic books, sorry, manga books of that nature. I read those, and when it comes to anime movies, my favorites have always been Studio Ghibli. It's just my favorite, and with the occasional outlier, like one of my favorite series when it comes to TV series is Kaze no Stigma. It's one of my favorites. It's just there. But when it comes to these particular series and this format, one of the things I know for a fact that the reason why many of these artists that I know are so interested with manga and anime, it has to do with the fact that they're very much just entertaining. They're not trying to force any kind of propaganda on anybody, at least not that I can see. For the most part, it's just fun. It's just them telling stories and showing these characters that are outrageous and entertaining and fun. Like, that's all it is. Sorry about the noise. Anyway, so when I see these characters, honestly, I know why people like them. Some of them it's because they're either promiscuous characters or because they're generally just ridiculous and fun. You got characters that are kind of behemoths like All Might in My Hero Academia, which honestly, it's the closest thing that you can compare. My Hero Academia is the closest thing you can compare to American Western comics. And if you look at the two, it's very clear that My Hero Academia stands out strong and stands strong on its own because of its massive fan base, its massive reach generally. And then you have its storytelling being the way it is. It's always fun. It's honestly some of the most ridiculous storytelling I've seen, but I understand why people like it. And it's just because they're not trying to preach at anyone. They're not trying to do anything to spite anyone. It's just telling stories. That's all they're doing. And at this point in time, it's become almost odd or almost impossible to see a movie or read a book or anything that doesn't have some kind of weird ideology that does not fit in reality. It's very set in a way that is outside of reality, and many of you who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. But when it comes to this whole situation in regards to manga versus Western comics, I feel like Western comics are still good, but it has to do with mainstream comics. That's the problem. Mainstream comics have removed a lot of the hopeful messages that you used to receive as a kid growing up. Whenever you would read comic books as a kid, you got a sense for the story. You didn't need to delve into some twisted, morbid ideology to understand it. It was very clear. Heroes were heroic. Villains were evil. That's it. Very clear, very concise. You knew who the heroes were, with the occasional gray area character that you never really understood, but somehow felt some kind of connection to because of your moral gray area within you, that you want to sit on the fence, but ultimately you have to pick a side. And these characters, they kind of fit that. With manga and anime, both of those formats, almost every character seems kind of gray area to me on some level, with a few outliers, like I said, with other characters like Genos from One Punch Man. You have all these different characters that are kind of still trying to maintain that all superhero type characteristic, but One Punch Man himself, he's not that way at all. And then back to My Hero Academia, in that you have All Might. You have all these characters that are very much almost like parodies of Western comics in a way, but better in a way also. Especially today, like I said, today's version of comic books have taken away, stripped everything away from what it means to be a hero, and instead focused on some outlandish ideology that no one actually lives by in this time. No one who actually can survive in the world lives by these ideologies. And so whenever I see this, I know why people are this way. And it's just kind of, it's sad really, because comic books and manga have always been just meant to be for entertainment. It was never about trying to find some political allegiance and trying to find things to disagree about. It's always just been about entertainment, fun, light-hearted behavior, thought patterns, and that's it. Just read it and be entertained. But if you're not, that's what it was all about, was just not being entertained anymore. And you can state how disappointed you are in a property. And for people to attack someone simply because they don't share the same opinion is weird, and it's disturbing. It lacks any form of emotional intelligence and any form of intelligence generally to attack someone. Now, sharing your opinion is not the same as attacking. Sharing your opinion on these things, this is the problem. Anyway, I've kind of gone off on a tangent here. So when it comes to these things, when it comes to manga versus anime, there's a very clear line between the two. You can see the difference. There's a reason why anime is doing so well and why it's succeeding and why it's a very strong market compared to Western American comics and things of that nature, superheroes and all that. There's a reason why, and it's people can see it. And honestly, I feel that if Americans kind of adapted some of that culture or simply went back to how things used to be, just telling fun stories that are for everyone, then it would honestly be a great way to, kind of bounce back from the turmoil they've kind of created for themselves. Anyway, I'm kind of finished talking about all this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel and ring that bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. Also hit the thumbs up button if you like this video, and please share with your friends. Well, I'll see you next time. Bye.